Interview with David Santos, January 24th, 1993, at 4:55 p.m. Whenever you're ready, you can begin with your full name, age, and where you're from.
I'm David Santos. I'm 25, and you said I have to say where I'm from?
Yes, it all has to be documented.
Okay, I'm from Lily Cove City in the Hoenn region.
Do you know why you're here, David?
Yes.
Why?
Because I killed my family.
Why did you kill them, David? We found you inside your house holding a knife. You were completely covered in blood. Your wife and 2 daughters brutally stabbed several times. What made you do that?
It was him. I swear. I swear.
Can you tell me where it all began? The story of the doll.
Well, it's kind of a long story. I really don't know where to begin.
That's all right. Just take your time. Explain every detail you remember.
Well, I guess it begins with my grandmother, Agatha. She was a psychic. She practiced different rituals and things, but for the most part, I always just saw her as my grandmother, you know? Well, anyway, there was one day, it was the last day I ever saw her. I think I was about 7 or 8. I remember she came into my room and gave me something.
You all right, David?
Yeah, sorry. I'm fine. She gave me this doll. It was dark gray with red eyes and this unmistakable yellow zipper thing over its mouth. I know she was trying to be nice, but to be honest, that thing freaked me out terribly. So, anyways, she told me that he would protect me from evil spirits if I kept him close, but never to unzip his mouth, no matter what.
So, as a child, you didn't know any better. You unzipped his mouth, right?
No, that's just it. I never did. I always listened to my grandmother. Plus, honestly, I didn't want to be near the damn thing, so I just kept it on my shelf. And for years, that's where he stayed. But when I was about 12, I remember some strange things begin to happen. I would go into my room and he would just be sitting there on my bed. I always asked my mother if she had moved him, but she never did. So I just put him back on the shelf. Same thing kept happening for weeks. Then I remember some nights while I was sleeping, I heard a laughing coming from my shelf, like a giggling, but in a really eerie, childlike voice. Like one of those creepy dolls that say mama. This went on for weeks. I told my mother, but of course she didn't believe me. She even slept with me one night, and when I heard the laughing, I woke her up, but she didn't hear anything. Must be the wind. The wind. That's what parents always say.
So what did you end up doing with it?
Well, it started to drive me absolutely crazy. To the point where I couldn't even sleep anymore. So I did what any normal human would do. I tossed it in the trash. In the end, that's it. life went back to normal for a while.
And, do you remember anything strange happening after that?
I remember having night terrors, but they never had images, just voices. My grandmother would be screaming and crying, saying, "How could you? You threw it away." It really tortured me for years. I even went to the landfill and tried to find it. Asked everyone I knew if they had seen it, but no one had. And here I thought getting rid of it would make me feel better.
You're shaking a bit. Are you alright?
Yeah. Can I get some water?
Sure. Can we get David some water, please?
Thank you.
So, is that why you're here? Because of guilt? That's what caused you to murder your family?
No. It gets worse. I've been seeing the doll everywhere I go. It'll be in my house, in the woods, in the water, the store, everywhere. Its red eyes always staring, almost like they were filled with rage from what I did to it. I mean, how was I supposed to know it would come and haunt me? My grandmother sure as hell never warned me about that part. Well, last night I saw it again. In my house. He was sitting there in my chair, only he was actually moving this time. Swaying. Smiling. Laughing. I remember his hand grabbed the zipper on its mouth and slowly began to pull it across his face. This evil, twisted hissing came out. Then there was a bright light, and I heard voices. Children crying, men and women screaming. And then I heard her voice. My grandmother. She said again, "How could you, David? You threw it away. You threw him away. The gift I gave you." I couldn't take it anymore, so I grabbed the biggest knife I had in my kitchen drawer and ran over to him. I tore him to pieces, swinging, stabbing over and over and over again. Then when he was finally just stuffing spread across the floor, I collapsed. Sitting there, catching my breath, I noticed the stuffing was turning a dark red color. It covered the entire floor. I looked over and my hands were dripping with it. When I looked back, God, he made me do it. He made me do it. He made me. I'm sorry. I didn't know, I swear. I'm sorry, Grandma.
I see. Well, David, you can see how this looks from my side, don't you? I mean, no one in court is going to believe a reanimated doll is what caused you to kill them. Alright, well, I think we have all the information we need, so... What was that? Did you hear that? Hold on, listen, there's laughing. Mark, turn the lights up. I want to see if... Oh my god. Oh my god!